Tosh, changing out Schneider right before the major.
It's such a difficult map to go on as well. I can't imagine they've had too much time in less than 10 days or something before this event, before he got replaced. Cobble's one of those maps that can be really tactical, and that's the best way to actually execute into these bomb sites. So I'd imagine we're going to see more of a simpler play for them. It's all going to come down to the individual players and whether they can really step out. Their stars need to go huge here. AZ, Kiabi, and Tensky, we need to see a big performance to him as well. The new boy, we'd like to see him step up, but here we go, let's get into it. We can see it's going to be more of a actual utility play here. We can see only 2 sets of armor purchased for them. They're actually looking over, they've got Tech 9s and HEs on MSL and AZ. Let's see what they go for here. Oh, heading towards B, but it looks like it's maybe the drop down split towards A, as the bomb is towards middle right now. Big grenades coming in. Those grenades paying dividends as Tensky gets into double, taking down Happy, and then became a fantastic start.
That's so huge. That is so huge that they take down the stack that quickly. And like you said, they wanted to split to A, but Kenny S and Apex catch them off in the process. Kirby still managing getting one late. Does mean that Kenny now has to rotate, or rather Kirishima, excuse me, has to rotate on his own, and this makes it all work out. If they hadn't been able to pick that kill, they might have had a chance on the retake on a 2-on-2 situation. Bomb planter was already on the platform, so it would have given them more room from this position now where Kiyoshima is on the balcony, but in the end it's all for naught. Kenny goes down, AZ closes out the round, but that nade, that was perfectly timed to read a stack. They weren't even going for the boost over, just that with that first man to take the peek, and they nailed it.
Yeah, that shows Dignitas may have done the homework on this map. That's a perfect play for them. Look at that there. The airstrike comes into drop down, takes down 2 players. A split working out perfectly for them, and they pick up a much needed pistol round going into this one. Of course, EnVyUs will be forced buying into this one. The analyst pointed out they're going to rely heavy on the Kenny SAWP. That's not going to happen now in the first gun round unless they do somehow win this round. 4 rifles coming up for Dignitas. Looks like they're going to be focusing towards middle, but the B stack coming in for EnVyUs here. For all 5 players committed towards that bomb site. Dignitas keep at the current pace they got right now. They should be absolutely fine getting the bomb down here, and you would assume EnVyUs probably have to go for the full save.
Yeah, no reason not to. Just sit back, keep the guns up, give themselves more utility again on that 4th round when it does arrive. Yeah, like you said, they've already committed away from Kenny getting onto the AWP. He may go on the hunt as a result of that, but the rest of them have already backed off, and they're going to do exactly. This round should end with all 10 up, because there's no reason for the T's to hunt either and lose their weapons.
For any new viewers right now who might be wondering what is going on. Obviously, weapons we know they can be very strong with. They went for the full stack towards B. Once they know the bomb's going on A, they've got no kits, they've got no real utility to work with. So they've taken that decision to save those weapons and actually use them in the next round. And hopefully their decision to go wherever they may stack or whether they'll push up middle through something like that, they can actually find where Dignitas are. Obviously, Dignitas making the perfect call there. No frags exchange in the entire round. A very rare feat for some in Counter-Strike, but there we go. We've seen it here. And that's 2-0 in favour of Dignitas. Really nice play for them so far. 2 great rounds for them. Opening pistol, very impressive indeed. It obviously shows they've got something in the old strat book come forward. So here we go then. We go into round number 3. Obviously, EnVyUs do have those upgraded pistols and armor. They have invested in a flashbang and HE grenades. What are they going to do this round? Looks like they won't be stacking fully towards B this time. Apex will be staying towards A. Potentially just to kind of get that early call off in case Dignitas decides to do the same thing once again.
Grenade out! Grenade!
If these guns can pay off. Second time they are, again, having, like you said, a bit of a stack toward this B site. The only one not here is Apex. He's just looking out toward middle right now, but surely going to make the call once these flashes come in on drop that he's got to at least support that connecting position. So if they go, even if it is going to be another A split, he can at least shut down the second prong of the approach. Instead, it's going to be on B eventually. He will rotate and complete. It'll be all 5 players now. This could pay out. All right, they can find one on the way through, but MSL takes down MBK. Now the crossfire comes into it, and Kenny he manages to get MSL. Apex will trade as well. He eventually goes down to Kirby. He was boosted up on top of the tree, so they really looked for all approaches. A bit of a passive approach, considering it was a stack on the platform, it has to be said. But either way, it's still paying off. The last guy, he tries to wait the chicken coop. It's Happy, and it is the Deagle, but not this time. He only gets the 1. Has to be patient, but now it's Dignitas. We will see the guns come up, like you say, but again, that investment, they won't be able to have a whole lot into this, really.
Well, this is the thing. So another nice round from Dignitas there. Just slowing things down, getting into the B bomb site, using MSL, the MP7, just to get a clear-out drop-down for them as they pincer the bomb site there. As you just mentioned, they won't have a fantastic buy at EnVyUs Saturdays, so they're going to have 1 Famous and MBK, 1 kit as well. He's going to be on carrying that one. They have got a decent amount of utilities, so that's what they've backed on here. Obviously, no helmets in AK-47s. They are redundant, so it's like a fast break of it from Dignitas. I thought they'd not keep it nice and fast. Simple, and here they go, into the B bomb site.
He's gone quick as well through that smoke, so they're definitely manning up. They want to pick that fight quick. EnVyUs on the site, they've got to push back. 2 players over in front of drop, making a third. MBK is going to come out to help join his 2 teammates, and Happy, with his help, will be able to get the first 2 kills now as he gets Kiyoshima to help him out with Tensky in the second. That limits Dignitas. They're stuck on this platform, and it's just an absolute slaughter. No kills going the way of Dignitas so far. Decent damage on 3 players, but it doesn't matter. The round is going to go against them. AZ eventually does pick up a kill. Bombs down. He has to commit to this. Good shot on AZ, and the second one, the low player. Now he's got 3. That one was a little bit more expected with Kiyoshima being low, but now he's got a chance to pick up the bomb. There's 51 seconds. He doesn't even have to commit to this bomb site, truthfully.
He's got so much time to play with as well. 2-on-1 situation. He's got full attack. These guys are reasonably low. There it is. Happy does take him down there. Really nice economical damage there from AZ. Like, that round was very expensive for EnVyUs. I feel like that's a bit sloppy from them as well. They didn't really have to face that at all. It's a 5-on-1 situation. Giving them the opportunity would be horrendous, considering there's no chance of implanting the bomb whatsoever, and the money wasn't great for the CTs. But picking up some AKs, they do stabilize it a little bit. But this is going to be... Dignitas will be buying up once more with the full AKs here. Had some very clean rounds in the first 3, so obviously the money is going to be absolutely fine for them. 3-1 now. EnVyUs, though, still in a fragile position. Need to win this one to keep themselves in a healthy position.
Just to go back as well about AZ being in that situation. He's a high-skilled player. For people who don't follow the Tier 2 scene as much, anyone who knows the TSM team, there was a rumor he was going to be on that roster for a while, so it could be someone to watch for them in this game. Happy, meanwhile, he's going to watch out for long. Interesting position for him to peek through the legs of the statue. A little bit unorthodox, not somewhere you would pre-aim when you enter as a T player, so that does catch Tensky off guard. Doesn't end up getting the kill, but Tensky's left to 8 HP, and there's no return on Happy at all, so really good early damage for him to work with again, and this round's going to mean a lot. Whoever loses this one's going back to pistols.
Yeah, be absolutely right there. So Dignitas still just working out what the CTs are presenting to them right now. Still no AWP on. It's going to be that famous towards danger right now as well. KRB making his way towards middle. He actually gets through the doors as well. Be waiting for him there. There's a fantastic shot from KRB to open things up now. Kenny S has got his work cut out. He is the only player right now towards the A bomb side. As we said, although Happy is rotating. And this is actually a perfect play from Dig. They've got that first pick towards A, peeling apart the CTs and making their way back to the B bomb side. That's where the bomb's going to be as well. Looks like they've got positional control to drop down as well, you know, as well. So this is fantastic for them. A great opportunity to get into this side.
Okay, though, playing from Rock, it's such a hard angle to try and take down. You pretty much got to push out and go for the trade, and it's going to be Kiyoshima to take down AZ. That was the intended trade player. Kierby gets back into him, but now the problem is that there's only 2 players left. They know exactly where they are on Dignitas' side. They've got 16 seconds to go in, and a combined HP that now equals 12. It was slightly better, but MBK's taking it away at both of them, and he'll close out the round, and this does mean now the save for Dignitas. So we're staring at a potential 3-3 start, an instant response from Team Envy.
Kind of disappointed from Dignitas that round. After getting that first pick and the positional controller drop down as well, it's kind of showing the new days for this team. It wasn't really technical enough, that execution. You saw no real pressure. Kiyoshima not really flashed. The Molotovs coming in, there's no real grenades. It's just kind of simple frags for him really there. And now that's going to put the second round of EnVyUs. And you mentioned before, whenever lost that was going on to the pistols. This time it's going to be Dignitas. They're just going to be on P250s. MSO will be on the Tech 9 because he's got a couple of flashbangs as well. I'd assume they're just going to try and flash out to the B. And the best they can probably hope for in this situation is getting the bomb down. As I say that, they do get smoked off, so that's going to slow play down as the CTs have got 3 players towards B. Kenny S towards the end of long A there, probably trying to get some information. Let's see what Dignitas can do to get through this smoke.
One of the things I want to keep an eye on is we're seeing a lot of pressure applied to B right now from Dignitas. I know this is an eco, okay, that's fine, but maybe on one of these ecos, if this continues and they continue to be shut down, they need to start investigating on A. And it might be an opportunity when they are in the same situation where they can score evaluate what the setup is. Kenny's gone for a really quick flank here, as the anti-eco looking fairly successful, but I say that, and Kiyoshima just now brings it back because the low HP was there, so Kenny comes around and it couldn't be a better time. Bomb gets planted, so it'll add more money to Team Dignitas, but in the end, the round will go to Envy. That was a much better entry than I initially thought it was going to be.
Yeah, AZ stepping up. He's having a pretty good game in terms of fragging. He's currently leading the charge for them on 9 kills. MSL at the bottom of the chart on 1 for 5, but that's a very decent eco there. I said best case scenario, probably getting the bomb down. Then I just get 3 kills and make it a little bit uncomfortable for EnVyUs as well there. So we're into round number 7, 3-3. EnVyUs have balanced things out, and interesting enough now, they've gone for the double orb setup. So Happy's going to be getting on, and Kenny S as well. You'd assume Kenny S will go towards long A, and then Happy towards the back of B as well. It's normally quite a sensible setup here. 2 turrets in either bomb site. It means you can actually afford to lose some CTs towards A once Kenny S gets some vital information, as you'll see him doing right now.
I was going to even go for the full pick toward the statue as well, and because he had a really good spawn for it. He actually had the most forward A spawn that he could have. So if there was ever a time to do it, that was it. Instead, like you say, he'll just sit back, hold the angle, not take the risk, and there you go. Happy on B, like you said, finds Tensky coming onto the platform. And this is where Dignitas need to slow it down. They've got 2 players over toward A this time to look for that information, but the one time they're there is the one time so is Kenny S is off, and that's You got to be pretty damn careful walking into a site with he's got that weapon up.
Yeah, the problem for Dignitas has been on this B bomb site is they haven't really got the execution to actually isolate some of the key areas of the map. And when they go into the site, you can see them getting to draw, drop down. They've got that once again, but they just don't seem to have the executed plays to actually get out into that bomb site. Once again, MSL is in that area, but you can just see this passive play from Apex. They know exactly what's going on.
And there's no one to help him right now. He goes into drop, but there's no one coming out plateau. There's no one to come in behind him, so he's pretty much a solo player right now. MSL is on his own. He basically just has to sit. Fortunately, they're playing it quite passively, so he'll have time to survive in that position. He could sell them here. He could actually just be the one man to make this whole play work because he's in a position to cut off the rotations. The rest of them are grouping over on A. 2 players to contend with there. If he can win this duel, MSL against NBK, he actually gives his team a really good chance, but he's smart. He sits way back, and now Kenny talked about that op on the A side. He's able to pick up AZ already. He'll switch his position early on to get to balcony. That'll allow him, once again, a more passive approach. Doesn't need to overcommit, and it does bring NBK in a much closer position with that rifle. Happy's going to show up second op. It'll close the round. EnVyUs with 4 straight.
Yeah, so Tensky trying to come out, using that one-man role of getting onto plateau, trying to find the first pick. Happy, though, like I said, he's getting quite easy kills there from the back of the platform. But MSO, I feel like could have done a lot more from that position. The fact he kind of gave him his cards away before the A attention had even been gathered by the CTs. He kind of died, and then it just means that the A push became redundant, and no one was going to rotate at that point. So it's a disappointing round there for Dignitas. We can have a look at the money right now. They still have gone for the quasi-buy here. AZ is actually fully invested into this round. Strange decision for them, leaving AZ on $0. The rest of the guys have done the quasi-buy here, PT50s and Tech-9s. Be committing all the way towards the B bomb side as well. Smoked out for now. I'm not really sure what they're hoping to do with this one. Kiyoshima makes his way onto plateau. A position we pointed out being key.
On top of that box, but he's going to flash. His teammate flash just barely gives him enough vision to kick down 3, and he actually gets them all. You would have thought surely he would have been traded in a situation like that. It does end up working out as AZ gets 2 kills to bring it back to a 1-on-2. With all his teammates gone early on, it's still a very problematic situation to be in, more so because the bomb is in behind those 2 EnVyUs players, and he has to fight just to grab it.
So before, it was a very similar situation. Obviously, now they have probably learned their lesson from that first round, so they're going to let him actually work there this time. Not going to give away too many frags. You happy? Very advantageous position, watching towards drop down there. Apex just kind of backing away. They're trying to play right next to each other. Not give anything away. They're aware they've got the bomb here. AZ with it all to play for here, but then he goes down. 2 happy. 5 runs in a row for EnVyUs now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is the theme for the rest of this half, to be honest.
Yeah, it's looking like there's really, like you said, not many utilities, not many executions that are going on. They can't really find the space. Even if they do get that drop room like we saw, they can't really do. That time they walk in, sure, they didn't have much to work with, but they're walking out and basically just getting picked off one by one in most situations. That was a little more aggressive, but the last 3 rounds before that, we saw the boosted statue. We saw twice they sat back toward the chicken coop, so it's definitely been a problem. This double up setup, this time they're going to have Happy boosted up at drop. All 5 players right now from Dignitas. Max round bonus means they could buy in again, obviously, in the bomb play. 2 rounds to go, plus a slighter force, I guess you could say, last round gives them a good position to be in, but now they've got utilities. This time they actually make it over the wall, so they're getting forward slightly here, Henry, but bombs dropped already. Kirby on the side, 19 HP, but he's actually lurking in the shadows of this fight. There's a good chance for him to pop out at the right time. Not anymore. Kiyoshima, they're going to shake hands as he flashes into it. Brilliantly done. Tensky gets the trade, and that will allow for the bomb plant in the hands of AZ. A 3-on-3 post-plant situation, and Happy's going to go down to AZ yet again. So he's looking very strong, but watch for NBK to line it up, and Tensky, he doesn't even need to leave the ground where he planted it. He's just got to sit back in that chicken coop. It's left to AZ. He pops out. It's at the rock. Kenny's got the advantage here in terms of position, but the time favors AZ. He just has to bait this out, and he reads Kenny like a book, and Dignitas will finally win their 4th.
So we see the proper execution coming in there. A full wall of smokes across the B bomb site. That's much better for them. I think there's the kind of plays that's actually going to work so much better for Dignitas. Actually allow themselves to get onto the bomb site, force a post-plant situation, and then make this double orb setup work for it. You can see the shot coming in from Kenny. Yes, that's pretty sick from him, going for the chicken coop there. But another round on the board for Dignitas, actually looking a lot stronger that time. AZ's having an incredible game. It seems like he's fragging every single round there, and those kills he got in the previous round actually allowed him to get the AK this time. So a change of pace here for EnVyUs, actually sending 3 players towards A. It's going to be perfect for them as well, considering
this is the one time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Actually kind of trying to cause a distraction towards the B site. Not really too much.
This is the interesting thing. They're going to go straight through middle, which means it'll be almost a retake unorthodoxly from long. Like they're going to come in and pinch them inside this site, and they need to read this because there's no one on A, but they haven't evaluated A at all, so they don't even know first off, where they're playing the 2 when they're there, but that there's 3. Good read by Pimp to sit back with that AWP. He catches off Kenny. He's going to smoke it as well, knowing that they have to be out on that long hog. So they're not going to be in mid. They're not rotating already from B. That's the only place they can be, so they need to just use their utilities to hold them out. But still, Apex manages to come down. He takes out Pimp. Kiyoshima showed up and got an MSL. That's a trade, though. So it still is a 2 versus 3 post-plant situation. No hits right now on Team EnVyUs, and that means AZ. He's buying them so much time. It's left hand on the site, but Apex gets the kill, and he will have more than enough time to snip the wires by hand.
That's disappointing from Dignitas.
Or will he?
Actually not going to have it. That's actually brilliant then.
I thought he would have had that. That would have only been about 8 seconds, so he had a decent amount of time lost on it.
Wow, that's huge. The fact that Dignitas got that round off, that disappointing hold, is actually massive for them. So EnVyUs do manage to keep the AWP in 1 rifle. We can see the rest of the guys unable to really justify buying into this one. It would be a force buy going into it. Probably could drop a Famous if they really wanted to. Be interesting to see how they actually approach this one. Pretty nice play from them, obviously not having enough to just finish that round off there. The bomb just ticking away from them there. They will be actually saving. That's actually quite disciplined from EnVyUs. Not something I expected.
It's big as well that bomb detonates because they just reset the bonus. So this allows them to buy it. I mean, that could have been a free kick for EnVyUs to just start the momentum again. So now, as you say, they're going the safe route. They're not being overly aggressive here, and it gives Dignitas a real chance to put a 6th round on the board. T-side. I would like to see them get around 7 or 8 if they want to even give themselves a chance against Envy on this map. Let's be real.
This is the problem. EnVyUs on T side.
It's incredible.
Emphatic. Like, this would be so hard to hold them out. It's just going to be the much harder affair for them. Here we go. Then round number 11. Here's a 4-on-4 situation. You see Dignitas, the bomb towards A, isolated by himself right now, just playing very passively. And no AWP this time. Pimp lost that last round, so they're going to have 4 rifles going into this, 3 smokes as well. I'm surprised we saw another set piece coming out from them. That 1 on 2B was actually very impressive. The fact they got out so much before any frags were actually exchanged here. 2 pistols for MBK and Kiyoshima, so difficult times for them. Kiyoshima not going to be able to have full control of this plateau area. Tensky's waiting for him as well, does spot him. Information gathered for Kiyoshima, can't really justify challenging.
Hold from the window, we see that angle so commonly, so they look to each other. Pimp actually comes out worse for wear, down to 54 HP, and that's before they're even out. On the other side of the archway, it dropped. That's where NBK is going to use the deagle, make it 2-so, as he takes down Pimp as well. Headshot through the wall, and suddenly things look really good for EnVyUs. Tensky comes out prematurely looking to that corner. Thought that there would be someone there. Kiyoshima gets an easy shot from BT50, and they're swarming right now. Kenny S is trying to get away just to save it out, and Kiyoshima's going to get the kill on Kierby. And EnVyUs will get the next round. It's not going to be the guns of Dignitas.
So it's even the guns they saved, the 2 players with the AWP and the M4, they're not the guns getting the kills. It's MBK or the Desert Eagle here, and we talk about, well, the analysts talked about this so much. They're so scary in this position. They seem to find these frags out of absolutely nowhere. Dignitas trying to come out and drop down, MBK punishes them and resets their money down. They're going to be on Tech 9's armor, and how much will they be investing into this? Actually a full force by going into this. The problem is, they haven't really got much utility to play with, so you're going to have to expect something very fast, try and catch the CTs by surprise. They have 1 smoke and 2 flashbangs, so it looks like they're just going to try flash over the wall, maybe smoke towards drop down and just get out and see what they can do. If they can find that first entry kill, there's definitely a chance to get them on that.
Coming over, but it's a passive hold from Kyo, so he's not going to get caught by any of those. It's actually NBK that gets the kill. And happy to contribute. Kyo doesn't have anything, despite that he was the closest to the action. Now he finally will get what is rightfully his. Again, though, it's AZ that's getting multiple kills. It's not going to matter in this situation. Again, they've got him locked out, but he manages 3 kills. Again, from a really, really poor position and poor situation. So AZ's been stepping up, but the rounds are starting to accumulate against them in a very quick manner.
Yeah, AZ on 17 kills. He's been absolutely fantastic this series, but it's going to be pretty much an eco now coming in for Dignitas after that force buy. It didn't really amount to much. It could have about 2k average across the board, so you can't really imagine much more than P250s. See, AZ has a flashbang. This is pretty much a throwaway round at this point. Kenny S going to be maybe a little bit more aggressive here. Has got someone backing him out. It's going to be Apex, so maybe he will go for that initial peak, but Dignitas focusing heavily towards mid.
Pushed by Apex this time and just cuts them apart before they can even get out the other side of middle. One member has it's MSL, but blindedly trying to evade Happy, it's not going to work out either. This is, yeah, I mean, without the pistol, where would Dignitas be right now?
Well, the rounds, the 2 gun rounds they did pick up are actually very well executed. I think they need to go back more to those kind of plays, but Pimp with the AWP, we talk about him being a little bit inconsistent, that weapon. He actually was getting some very vital picks from as well. Not going to be able to justify that this round. We're going to number 14 now, 5 rifles on the board. They have got some smoke grenades, but no Molotovs here. Can be very key for flushing out some CTs, especially in that plateau area as well. That's where Kiyoshima is known to be so deadly. It looks like that faster beef setup coming in right now. Tensky, to be fair, hasn't had too much impact up there. 4 kills right now. What can they do with this one?
Grenade out.
Just a little boost to try and get them above that smoke. And they're going to nade into this arch too, just making sure that no one has pushed through that smoke. They know that Dignitas has been very aggressive on that plateau position. For better or for worse is up for debate, but this time being a lot more conservative. The problem is too conservative, and they're putting all eggs in one basket, and they're going to get too flanked because they know they've had so much free space. EnVyUs are just taking the map that they've been given. They've had it round after round. There's no aggression on it. They're going to show up. They may not even need not to come into this. It's going to be Kyoshima, and MBK that do most of the damage, but those two flank players were in the B tunnels before they were even peeking at the entry points.
It's just a lack of experience really on the map. That's kind of one of the fundamentals. If you're going to send all 5 players towards B and not have any presence towards A whatsoever, you better expect players like EnVyUs, very aggressive, strong, and confident players. They're going to push into center positions. They're going to take peeks, even if it's just going towards the bottom and middle and looking towards the top and mid there. If you see no T players there whatsoever, you kind of that's indicative that you can actually push behind. You saw them both do it there, completely sandwich the T side there. I mean, don't really have any opportunity to do anything. So we go into round number 15. EnVyUs definitely have the advantage in this one. It's going to be 4 pistols, 4 Dignitas. Pimp, the only player with a rifle. He's currently sat on 2 for 11 as well. Very quiet game to see one of the star players for Dignitas. This one.
Well, we say he's the guy that's been going to the offensive late, but we haven't even seen time to get that out because of the money situation. He's been on that rifle, where he's still a very good player. He's normally, in fact, arguably better in that position, so you would expect more than that out of him.
I've got some very low HP. Not really committing as of yet to a bomb site. Kenny S takes on Kiabi there. Makes it to the 5-on-4 situation. Looks like Dignitas maybe a little bit lost here. Once again, MSL gets into that drop down room, but EnVyUs with this very passive setup, not really allowing him to do much of it at all. He's using their smoke grenades to isolate him in there. Not really gaining too much from this at all. The bomb does make his way back around towards A. And once again, we see the same sort of play. MSL needs to stay alive long enough for the A distraction to come in to allow him to get these rotation kills.
Pulled 3, I guess, if you want to call it right now in this position over toward that B site, but that half is going to get 1 kill, and that means Happy can just take down AZ after the trade happens. Pop flash out for Kenny, but he hears them coming too quickly. He'll fall back. He knows he's the last line of defense until the rotations arrive. The problem is last line of defense only has 1 more offense to deal with, and it's Tensky that will go down. Speaking of Tensky, it's Tensky rounds for EnVyUs.
Yeah, that's a pretty confident half for EnVyUs there. Obviously losing the pistol. That was actually a very nice pistol played from Dignitas. If you remember that double nade coming in, obviously did their homework against EnVyUs there. Perfect A execution. And they get 3-0 on the board. After that, it wasn't really much to talk about in terms of their T strategy. They did have that nice wall of smoke towards B. That was a nice set piece, getting the bomb down, post-plant situation working very well for them. AZ, phenomenal game for him. Really did step up there. 18 kills. We pointed him out as one of the talisman of Team Dignitas. And also Pimp as well, 2 for 12. That's a very poor performance from him. I think he actually did pull out the AWP at 1 round, and that's where he got those 2 frags from, and I think that was the other gun run they actually won. So, we talked about it before, EnVyUs, one of the best T-side cobble teams possibly in the world right now, in terms of how aggressive they can be. It's so tightly constructed. No teams seem to know how to hold them off towards the B-bomb side especially. Doesn't seem to see anything that can counter them. Just looking at the sniper matchup right now on your screen, Kenny S plays 10 to Pimp's 2. Difficult times for Pimp.
I think that's rather indicative of where we sit. So 10-5 as we await the teams to just get readied up, jump into the next game. Sometimes teams will use this extended time to not ready up as a sort of tactical timeout, take it as a freebie. Again, though, AZ, that's impressive. He leads the way, considering the situation.
Look at the rest of the team, though. MSL on 3, Tensky on 5, Pimp on 2. Like, AZ had to get everyone on his back right there. Even to get those 2 gun rounds, he had to go absolutely huge. He was getting frags pretty much every single round there. 18 kills.
Oh, and there's 2 rounds that he picked up, 3 kills to almost clutch it. You know, one more player contributes somewhere in that situation. You never know. It could have gone just that little bit extra to push it over for, you know, an 8-7 scoreline instead.
So the problem now for Dignitas, they go onto the CT side. It's such a difficult CT pistol. It's so hard to hold on cobble. Obviously, the T's going to stay together as a 5-man unit. They can choose somewhere to go, and it's very difficult to work out what you can do as a CT here. It's something you have to commit. You have to go aggressive. A lot of teams like to go push towards long A, for example, just to gain that initial information so they can justify the sack towards B. Be interested to see what they bring to the table here. They obviously had a very set idea of what EnVyUs are doing on their T pistol. What have they got in store for us on their CT side? You can see they have purchased a 5.7 on MSL. 3 players. It's going to be AZ, KRB, and Pimp on the armor, and Tensky with the incendiary. You would assume he's going to go towards drop down. And then the top of that and see what he can do there. So here we go then. Entering round number 16 is a pistol round in the second half.
It will be a bit of a split play toward drop. as they try and pinch on the site. Big damage already done to AZ. He's down to 2 HP, so he has to get the utilities ready. He was looking to put the smoke out toward the plateau. Instead, it's Kierby who tries to come in. AZ, meanwhile, found MBK. One player splitting down already, but MSL's going to have to come up inside the windowsill. It's straight out. He gets it with forces to turn back, and as he does so, not only does he go down, all of his teammates are dead inside the site, and EnVyUs will pick up the second half pistol as well.
Yeah, precisely what I was alluding to before that pistol round started. Stay as a 5-man unit, didn't really have to do anything too technical. Face down to the plateau there, headshot MSL, I think it was AZ, sorry, straight away. MSL did manage to pick up one frag here, but MSL getting shut down, and then all the kills go towards Happy as he split the bomb site there. And pretty simple there, the office for EnVyUs there. We can see no force spike coming in from Dignitas, so just upgrade some pistol here, no armor. Just going to use Desert Eagles and CZs here, so they will keep some money in kind of $1,000 after that buy. But now then EnVyUs have got the Scout and MBK, 2 MAC-10s as well, and actually an MP7 and Apex. You'd assume they're going to go towards the A part of the site, keep it nice and close range. You don't want to go towards B and try and use the plateau area when you have that many SMGs in hand, especially with the Scouts as well. Let's see what MBK is going to be working towards. He's with mid. Whatever do, guys, do go towards that long area.
Flash goes down. Tensky manages to avoid it. Turns back, gets the shot as well. And then did the gun fall down onto his hands? I'm not sure it did. He may have to jump up to try and grab it. He still could, but at 16 HP, it's not necessarily worth the risk in that point in time. And that's going to discourage any play over toward B as well. They'll take the bomb back over to the A position, trying to get up the highway right now. 2 toward bottom mid as well. MSL will be the one to deal with them with the D. Fully catches them, but he knows where he's trying to go for the peak aggressively, and Kiyoshima manages to avoid the bullets and put the AK to use. Ends up taking down Kirby as well, and now it's just left to Tensky. He's on the site, tries to be sneaky about it, but it's not going to work out, and EnVyUs will avoid potential disaster.
You're going to see a lot of similar rounds like that. Happy is more than happy to lurk in that drop-down position while his team executes into A. It means he can hear footsteps rotating from the B-bomb site. He can justify dropping down and getting rotations, and it simply doesn't feel like he can fall back towards A and actually hold the connector area there. So, nice team around there for EnVyUs. Only dropped 1 kill, and you can see that's actually going to force Dignitas onto another pretty much full eco here. They have got some P250s on the board. AZ has a flashbang, but going to be stacking towards B. This could be one player towards it's going to be Pimp this time, and a very quiet game, so I'm not really sure what he can make of this. He's got Apex and Kenny S in his way.
Happy again, this time is going to be greeted by 2, not just only 3. They're going to put that much shot back and easy. And that'll bring over everyone. It's just Happy versus Dignitas right now. I mean, he's more than happy to take that fight. Get another headshot. Penske's low. This should be the triple kill, and it will be. MBK was waiting in the wings for MSL to try and escape, and that gives it now 13 rounds for EnVyUs. It's looking like another quick one for us, Henry.
Yeah, we don't get the longest games here, do we?
That's all right. They're saving us for the finals, that's all.
Well, the thing is definitely isn't over yet. It can be a CT-sided map. Obviously, against EnVyUs, I do not see it going down like that. But Pimp has picked up the AWP, full glass cannon here, has got 1 smoke grenade to play with. Still sat on that Super 15. If he needs to step up, it's going to have to be right now because his team need him to do something here. Their first pick would be fantastic. Apex sticking with that MP7. You'd assume that it's going to try and do something very fast with him being the point man here. So they're heading towards B. 5 players moving to that side of the map. CTs are going to have 1 player on top there. KRB picks up the first frag onto Kiyoshima. That could be absolutely vital. He actually decides to push through the smoke as well. Takes down Kenny S. Fantastic stuff from KRB. Manages to survive the now. Fall back to the bomb site.
Tensky needs to follow this up to add to that great fate, but Apex does win that kill. So as KRB re-enters onto the site, they're going to know he's toward the back of the plateau. Means AZ's going to have to do big work right now from the rock. MSL's come over. They've got the flash to go in. He'll take the drop fight. Spots up 1 and doesn't want to lose the man advantage. They want to keep this, so they've got information that he's at least dropped down. He's committed to that position. They can fall back, and Kierby's done the same out toward long. Again, that was a really good push by him. Sits on 28 HP as a result of it.
When you get the first frag like that, and it's you're up against the ropes in terms of the scoreline, that's huge for him to push through and make it work for him as well. Still not over yet. 3 on plays 4. 45 seconds remaining for the teams. You can see they're not really committing to too much here. Watch MBK going towards the top of the middle, though. If he finds his frag onto Pimp, this could be devastating for the CT side.
Exactly. This actually could hinge quite a bit in the round, and Pimp gets it. Bombs all the way back in the tunnels. It would have been a re-grab by Happy with that pinch play coming in, and if he had a one over the A side, he could have rotated. He's still got 27 seconds to do it, but now it's pretty much option over. At this point, he can play for a plan. He can try and do some economic damage, but ultimately it's going to be the 6th round for Dignitas.
They've got so much money in the bank right now. He might as well try and get as much off the CTs as he possibly can, right? If he can even get 1 kill here, it'll be really difficult for the CTs to buy up next round. They can about $100 each, and the rest of the T's have loads of money to play with. He's not managed to do anything with it, but Just wanted to get that one over with, I guess. 13 plays 6. As I mentioned before, the T's have an absolutely huge stack of cash here. CT's not dropping too many frags, so they're going to be fine as well. But this is when it gets interesting. Kenny S picks up the AWP now. Before, we had one player, Apex, on the MP7. So this is the first real gun round, I would say. Both teams with the AWPs, full rifles. Let's see how this one unfolds. Obviously, a must-win situation for Dignitas. They can't allow EnVyUs to get back into this one. If Dig do lose this round, they reset the money and they have a very difficult time buying into the next.
Deploying flashbang. I'm throwing a grenade.
Going to play aggressively. We saw EnVyUs doing the same thing from that position in danger beforehand.
Grenade out.
Just AZ up, meanwhile, on top of the B site. So, aggressive plays on either side of the map right now.
Throwing flashbang.
Not a whole lot being done by EnVyUs to try and distill anyone right now on the B side, but A's getting a little bit more aggressive out toward that highway position. Off battle, Pimp not able to land the shot, but did see two players because they tried to bait it out with that jump position, so he goes all the way back inside the site. That puts a little bit more pressure on the fact that they left MSL down below in danger, and he gets caught out for it, so it gives the man advantage again, this time to Team EnVyUs, and it's Apex who gets that kill, leaves him on 20 HP, mind you, but it's a big thing to have the first kill as a T side because this forces the hand of the defense massively.
I would assume now EnVyUs will go into a full-on set piece with smoke grenades here. You can see Happy once again in that drop-down area, just listening out for the rotations. They got full control of that. I'd assume the smokes are coming in, and here we go.
Watch Kirby though, he tries to push down and get the flash in from his teammate. It doesn't land on Keo. And that's so unfortunate because Kiyoshima can just walk in, take the shot comfortably, and now we see the result. They get very, very close onto that A platform. In fact, bomb is going down as we speak. And they've got enough smokes out that I think Dignitas, and not even are they going to get out comfortably, just want to save these weapons, and AZ will at least get happy and then bail as fast as possible. But it's 14 rounds, and MB's got a heck of a bank.
It's so scary and Happy's in that position, right? Even when you know he's there and you know it's something he does, he's so smart at it. He knows when to commit. He knows when the CTs are out, got pressure against him, and actually finds frags every single time. He picks up one there, and it's just such an important frag. The CTs aren't able to save a weapon. It's just AZ left alive. And as I say that, Kenny S takes him down, and the money now for the CTs is in a dire situation. As I said, the money has been reset. KRB on $1,400. The rest of the guys on an average about 2.5k. Probably have no choice but to buy into this one. They can't allow EnVyUs to get onto match point with so many rounds remaining. So here we go then, into round number 21. Very healthy position for EnVyUs. Clean T half of them so far as Dignitas get the famous couple of CZs and one M4. Let's see what they can do with this.
Actually said they had a good bank. It wasn't brilliant, but it's more than enough when they've got 14 versus 6. AZ's got the boost position. They haven't done anything this time in terms of utilities to distill it. He goes for a full jump up, though, and that gives Happy a much easier target when he does arrive on the landing. And again, it's going to be first blood for the French side. Kirby will wait out toward the A, or rather the B plateau. Smoke's in front of him. He'll just sit with the pistol and hope someone walks into the close quarters range where the headshot is an instant kill for him. It'll be MSL back over toward lower mid. And again, this time, they're going to look for this split play onto A. Two players lurking at drop right now. Bit of an interesting play happening from Dignitas, though. They're going to push 3 players down B main right now. They're already pushing into the tunnels. This is rather unorthodox. They could hear them right now at drop. They know they're not going to go B, so this should call it it's going to be an A push. They've got to be quick, though, because now they've lost their teammate. If they want to go, they've got to catch them right now, and that's already pretty much an unformidable task. It's going to be 15 rounds at this point. There's no way they can fall back in.
It's a nice idea for them to push like that, but now it's just in a horrible situation. They haven't got a single kit. They've got 3 rifles up. The bomb's about to go down, and they've got to retake the bomb site in the worst possible place ever. You can see Apex has got his middle area locked down. Pimp's going to be top there. I'm not really sure what the approach is from the CTs. Kiabi's going all the way to T-spawn. So it looks like they will be going on the retake. Obviously, the bomb only just going down, so they can do something with this. It looks like they may just be going for the full save here. I thought they maybe just be trying to run down middle and something happen with no kits and a very small amount of guns to play with. I'm sure they just want to try and get some damage done to the T's, but at this point, it's just going to be trivial for EnVyUs. Even though they do get some kills down, they're going to have a full buy next round. EnVyUs will be on the hunt here. They know if they can get the kills here, the Team Dignitas economy will be absolutely shattered.
Yeah. This will pretty much put it. I mean, it was going to be a tough order, no matter how you sliced it, to win. With the scoreline we saw in the first half, and before that, I mean, just on paper, this game is fairly convincingly EnVyUs is to win, rather theirs to lose. Well, yeah, I should say. But when it's this far away in match point, I mean, this is pretty much done now.
The way they've been playing as well has been pretty simple there at the office on the T side. Just doing their normal stuff, a B play, an A split coming in. Happy holds towards drop down, and this seems like it's all just falling into place for them right now.
And I think it was Thorne who said, I don't know how you would let this go to cobblestone. I know
I
Dignitas,
couldn't believe it.
Dignitas do have a history on this map, but you're going against arguably the best cobblestone team in the world. And best of one at a major. Like,
You haven't like any preparation for this tournament. It feels all like you probably have
go to your familiar foes as well.
exactly. You can't base it all around what the other team are good at. You have to play what you've practiced, what you feel confident on, especially when you've got a new member. He hasn't really been too practiced in this lineup. Here we go then. Round number 22. More of a fast approach towards middle here from EnVyUs. Apex in the charger. Such a deadly point, man. Gonna see so just through the smoke there. Not able to react just yet. Next back to be very important indeed.
Oh, that flash catches Kirby. He was in a great position, so luckily AZ's down below catch off Kiyoshima. It's quite awkward between the two on that plateau position, but Apex will come back into MSL, and again, despite wherever the first kill goes, it always seems that the advantage either gets nullified or taken completely back by EnVyUs, and the trade kill gives them a lot of space. Now they're going to work onto this A site as well, and there it is. Now they have the advantage. AZ's gone on the quick rotation. He's down from the connection point. Last man's left on the back of the site. They've already spotted him up. They'll try and rotate through balcony, and I didn't quite see. There is a Molotov you can place to the vent. You don't even need to break the vent out, and it expands all the way to the wall to prevent the rotation. I didn't quite see if that landed or not. Either way, they know where the last players are. Good kill by Kirby, but it's a 1-on-3, and it's looking like EnVyUs. Surprise, surprise, none at all. They'll move into the upper bracket tomorrow. And Dignitas will have to fight from the bottom. They did well to get here, but again, this was always going to be tough with a player change 10 days before we arrived.
Yeah, you could see that just from their T-side approach. Like, it seemed like they had the right idea. They won the pistol. Fantastic result for them, managing to get that 3-0 on the board. First goal.